every girl's into women. That's not true.
That is absolutely not true. That is one of the biggest fucking memes. If you believe
lot
that
of
as a
straight
guy,
girls
you're gonna
are-
run into a lot of weird situations.
Dude, a lot of girls will lie and say that they're bi, like for guys' attention, and then you
Yep.
get into a
Oh my
situation
gosh,
and
yes.
it's like, ooh, it's really
Dude, there are so many women
my
where it's
God.
like, I'm bi, and it's like, oh, cool, what kind of experience? Well, I haven't had any. It's like, oh, wow, would you ever like fucking like eat a girl's pussy? She's like, well, no, but I think I'd try kissing one once if I'm really drunk. Maybe I think like, okay, dude, like you're super
If I'm
fucking
really
bi.
drunk, that's always what
Yeah,
they
fuck
say.
out of here with that shit. There are so many girls that do that
it's
shit.
so annoying. It actually triggers me so bad.
Mm-hmm.
No, you guys don't realize girls like gay bait all the
Yep.
time. It's so annoying. Cause I'll see a girl that's bi and I'll try to flirt with her and she's like, I'm not really into girls like that. And I'm like,
Even
what?
on
What do you
Tinder,
mean?
like girls will put like that they're into girls,
But they're
but they're there for friends.
Oh, I was gonna say
Yeah.
a lot of them. This is really mean, but a lot of them are just there to bait for their boyfriends for threesomes too. When girls put bi,
And that,
Yep,
yes,
yeah.
there's so many people.
and the
looking for
guys are
boyfriends.
always like
Oh my
super
God.
sketchy looking and everything too. Like holy shit,
Yeah.
yeah.
True.
That'll
I
always
think
be
you
the
expect
first
me-
question, and none of them want to mess around on their own either, because we're like, oh yeah, like hey, like yeah, we should hook up. They're like, oh okay, well how do you feel about my boyfriend? Like we always do this as a group thing. It's like okay, you're not bi, you're looking for a fucking unicorn, you stupid bitch. Like get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
Yeah. Very.
Someone just
annoying.
said like gay bait you're expecting them to put out, but like more times than not, they're more interested in doing like something sexual than doing like an actual relationship.
Yeah, that's true too. I don't even call myself
don't wanna date
bisexual because of that.
girls.
Yeah, because I would never date a fucking guy ever. Jesus Christ. But a lot of the girls who call
Oh
themselves
my
bi like
God.
wouldn't even like do anything sexual with a girl too. They just like think that like maybe they've
Yeah,
like
it's
made out
super
with one
annoying.
once while drunk at a party. The
Yeah,
DSA is
that
full of these people? Really? That's not surprising. It's like the easiest way, your easiest access to LGBT is through like the bisexual marker, because you can still like be straight. I'm sorry, I'm contributing a lot
That's
to.
not how it works.
I know.
That is not how it
We're
works.
doing the bi erasure thing really hard right now, but dude, oh my god, so many people do this. Like, if I was actually bisexual or gay, I think I would probably fucking hate anybody automatically as soon as they identified as bi, because so many people fake it. I think I would just ignore them
Yeah.
immediately. Be like, ah, fuck you, dude.
Yeah, that's
One
like
thing-
a huge stigma though against like the bisexual people
Yeah.
that are truly bisexual,
Mhm.
and it's really annoying because
Yeah.
when you tell someone that you're bisexual, especially in the LGBT community, they're way more apt to be like, "Well, no, you're not."
Yeah.
But there are people who are genuinely bi or genuinely pan, and it's not like.
Yeah,
I
it's
used
called
to
bi
say I was
erasure, yeah.
pan, but
Yeah.
people, I don't know, like pan has like a negative connotation almost. Like people are like, oh really, you're pan, really?
When I hear
Mhm.
somebody say
Like, it's
pansexual,
Steven did that to me.
yeah, wait, what?
Yeah, when I said that I was pan. you
Oh, okay,
were
yeah, I
like,
thought you said I was
Yeah.
pan. Yeah, yeah. When people say pansexual, I just hear bisexual with SJW overtones.
Yeah, but the
That's
thing
not
is,
how
the
it
thing
works.
is that I would date someone that's transgender. Like that literally means nothing to me. But apparently, if you're bi, you wouldn't date someone that's
No,
transgender.
that's not it.
That's
so
what I heard
bis-
the other day, and I was like, that's not.
Bisexual is attracted to people that are men or women. Bi is in you're into both genders. And pansexual means that you're into like gender isn't a determining factor in your sexual attraction to people, and or that you're attracted to people that identify with both genders, with people that don't identify in the gender binary, with people that identify as a third gender. It's gender inclusive, and
It includes
Within the
trans
whole
people,
spectrum.
basically. If you're pan,
not,
then
not just trans people though, because trans
Well-
people switch from
Non-binary
male to
people are
female.
well,
It's
okay,
people that
wait,
don't
hold on.
fit
Okay,
the
so
two
real quick, wait,
binaries.
to be clear. So for
If you're not-
for trans, you have
Mm-hmm.
trans and cis. Cisgender people include like people that are born and identify as the same sex and gender. Trans
Mm-hmm.
includes everything else. So if you're pansexual, the shortcut is to just say that you would be willing to date or fuck cis or trans people, and that includes everybody by definition. Trans and cis are binary. You either are trans or you either are cis.
So even if you're
Fair. I
non-binary,
just-
that still it falls under transgender.
Yes, non-binaries would be considered trans
Yeah.
people. Yeah.
Okay, but
That's what I
feel
meant
like
when
when
I
you
said that.
when people say that like pan means that you would be willing to like or that you're attracted to men, women, and like trans people, that sounds wrong, right? Because then you're like
You would just say
trans
cis
people
and trans
can-
people. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's saying like you would be attracted to men, women, and trans people sounds wrong.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're not you're not saying that like trans people aren't
You are.
men or women, but like it's kind of like insinuated.
Yeah, you're
So you
basically
don't
saying
want-
that. Yeah.
A
you
lot of
don't
bi
wanna do
people
that.
and a lot of straight people though wouldn't date someone that's transgender.
Yeah, but that's why they're bisexual or straight. But if you say you're pansexual,
Yeah.
you should be okay with trans people. It's part of that.
Like if someone's a guy, it doesn't matter if they're a trans guy. Like I would still date them. Like that doesn't change for me, if that makes sense. But I just don't like using the term pan because I feel like the negative
It's a
connotation.
meme. Kind of.
That's-
Super SJW,
Yeah.
yeah.
Gotta reclaim it, dude. That's what I'm trying to do with the N word. I'm so sorry. I'm done. Okay, we need a machine
That's
to
what you're
make
trying to do with
oil. Oil maker. I need slime, hardwood, and a gold bar. How long does it take to make oil? Is it like quick or does it take days?
I don't know.
I'm straight, but I would date a trans woman. Am I bi? No, that means you're straight because they're a
exactly.
woman. So that still makes.
Oh, would it? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
If you're a straight
Yeah, you're
person
still
that would date a
straight.
trans person,
Yeah.
it makes you straight. There's got to be a moniker for that though.
No. Doesn't
Really?
matter, does
Yeah,
it?
because
Who
you
does it
can-
matter to?
Well, trans people, because not all straight people would date trans people. So it seems like there's got to be some sort of additional
but then-
Oh,
qualifier.
it means you're not a Republican. That's weird.
Haha, good one. Nice, man. Wow, trying to win those chat.
In the terms of straight, it's being attracted to the opposite gender, right? So if someone is if you are female and someone else is born female and transitions over to male, even though they are a trans male, they're still male. And so since you're still only attracted to the opposite gender and this person identifies as male, then it's straight.
Yeah, I mean, like, I understand all of that, of course. But if I heard somebody describe themselves as straight, I would need to ask an additional question to find out if they would date a trans person, right? Like, just
Would you?
hearing, yeah, absolutely, of course. You don't think so? You think all people that identify as straight would willingly date a trans person knowingly?
No, I know that some people. I'm just saying, like, for the sexual orientation. I'm seeing what you're saying, like whether or not they would. Okay, I think I see what you're saying. The distinction between the sexual orientation and what they would
Like
do.
for
Yeah.
people that are that are trans to potentially find partners, is that what you're saying? Like so that if someone identified themselves as this other thing, that they would know that that person would be someone that they could pursue.
I
Is
don't know.
that what you're saying? The purpose of this word would be?
Yeah, to let somebody know, like, oh, I'm gay, but I would. I'm sorry, I'm straight, and I would date a trans person or have sex with a trans person. Yeah.
That is straight, but I guess you could just like. I don't know. It's weird because it like outs trans people again as if they're not like valid members of that gender.
Sure.
Like sure, it's like
Wait, there is a word. There's a word for that. Oh, whoa, 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 what is the word? My ex's
Which word?
J or GYNE sexual. Gene, is it gene sexual or
gynosexual. Is that it?
gynosexual?
Isn't
That
gyna? Isn't that
sounds
like a
more
Greek
right.
thing for like women or something?
Yeah, that just means you're attracted to femininity. So if you were a guy, you could use that as your sexuality and say that you would date a trans girl or a cis girl.
Interesting.
But
It
it's
would
still
all fall under that,
straight.
right? Yeah, but also that'd still be straight.
Yeah, like gynosexual is when you're attracted to femininity, but that means that you would even like you might be attracted to feminine guys even.
Oh.
Like you're just attracted to femininity in general. So you might not be attracted to like masculine women, but you might be attracted to feminine guys. It's just like femininity, yeah.
Interesting. I love when people break up with their girlfriends and it's so obvious that they just broke up with their girlfriends.
What? Are you getting messages? Oh, I bought the thing, by the way.
They added me on
Okay, cool.
Snapchat, followed me on Instagram, sent me a message. It's like,
Oh. Do you ever have guys that will like message you because they seem like they're really interested, and then they just stop talking to you for a while, but then they message you again like 6 months later, and basically it's just like whenever they're out of a relationship, you're like the girl that they message just to see if they can kind of fuck
Yes.
around with it. Yeah.
yeah.
Wait, what was your position on scissoring? Do you think that's a real thing, Sushia?
Scissoring?
Yeah.
I think it looks good in porn. I like to watch it in porn. I don't think that
I
it's
got into an
any-
argument with somebody. There was some girl that I talked to recently that insisted. This is like a 50-50 thing where
It
some
might have been me.
it might have been you. Some girls tell me that like it's a real thing and it feels really good and it's really awesome, and then other girls tell me it's like
feels
the dumbest
good,
thing in the
but
world.
It's awkward, and you don't want to do it for that long. It's like,
Huh?
it's like maybe if there's toys involved, it can be fun. But if you're just sitting there humping each other, it's like, yeah. So what's up? You know? I don't know. It's just awkward.
I've never seen you in chat.
Okay, but are bi people
Oh yes, I got it.
to identify themselves? Can I say this? Hope you're not being offensive. But like, wouldn't they just see male or female, binary, despite how that person identifies, like on a spectrum? I think that the answer to that is why, like, pansexuality. Typically, if you speak to a pansexual person, they say that gender is not a determining factor in their sexual attraction to people. Because it is difficult to tell how someone identifies, like, gender-wise. That's why it's like a non-factor. Like, you're just attracted to the person, and then whatever they end up identifying as gender-wise, like, you're like attracted to.
Whatever their parts
Yeah.
are. This is so romantic.
And their physical experience, their physical appearance. No, not necessarily pajami. You're not specifically attracted. Well, oh, I got a cutscene machine. Sorry. It's the same as being like straight. It's like, well, are you attracted more to their physical appearance or to the fact that they identify as a woman? Probably less their gender identity, since it's like usually a non-factor, and more so either they're like intellectual or physical appearance. It's okay, Pajami, don't worry.
That's not okay.
I love
That
people.
transphobic piece of shit.
A lot of people don't know the difference between bi and pan. Yeah, it's totally normal to not get it. So bi person only likes cis, male or female, or typical appearances? Yes. So bi people are attracted to cis, or not just cis, sorry. They're attracted to male and female. Pan people are attracted to like any kind of gender.
Wait, where are you at right now? Are you still in a cutscene?
I'm coming down. Oh shoot, it's 1 a.m. though.
Yeah, you better hurry.
And I'm drunk. Like in game.
Okay,
So
go
I'm
back.
walking really slowly. I have to run back.
Okay.
Why
I'll
are
just
you
put
drunk?
one of these in a
In
chest.
game, I got drunk with Shane. He's a bad influence. I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna put one of these sweet berries in a chest. You can take it to that statue, and you do get a star drop.
Okay, beautiful.
Silas Cat asked a good question, Pikachu. He said, do you think most straight people are sexually inclusive of pre-op as well as post-op trans people? I would say no. I would say most straight people are not inclusive, especially about pre-op.
I don't think that they're inclusive, but that doesn't change the definition of straight. That doesn't like disclude trans people who are that haven't had SRS. That doesn't disclude them, even if they're not inclusive.
Trans people are typically highly distrustful of cis people.
Nice.
I think that that's warranted to a certain degree.
Like when it comes to
I
trying to get into a relationship.
Well, I mean, so many people are like extremely disclusive, right? And trans people are even like met with like really high like rates of violence. So I know that certain trans people or some trans people literally fear for when they like tell someone or disclose that they're trans. Like they fear for their safety sometimes.
Definitely.
Because there's so much violence, and also just like really bad
And that sucks, 'cause I
emotional
feel like-
reactions. So I understand the distrust.
Yeah, I feel like someone shouldn't have to say like shouldn't have to be open about how they're trans. They just are like, oh, I'm a woman or oh, I'm a man. But yeah, they can definitely get into those situations where someone finds out that they're trans and it turns out that person's extremely trans. But I think you should probably, weed out those people early on, hopefully, to try to avoid that.
Yeah, I think that I've had not only conversations, but I've had friends who identify as transgender, and they kind of stress the importance of having conversations with people before they meet up with them or before they kind of really establish any sort of like sexual relationship, like even like through dates or texts or whatever. Like they really stress the importance of disclosing. Sometimes it's just for their safety, but also because it's a significant part of their identity that they want to make sure that the other person is okay with. Where does the majority of violence towards trans people come from? Is a decent portion of it from sexual interactions gone astray, like you alluded to? I don't think that would be the majority. I haven't seen statistics on it. I don't think that would be the majority. I feel like there's just a lot of people, or a lot of violence against them in other ways. But I guess I haven't seen stats, so I couldn't speak on it in that kind of way. I don't think that would be the majority of interactions, though. Trans people are, especially non-passing trans people, like, they can be singled out and face violence like that, unfortunately.
Help the progressives? I mean, I can help the progressives, quote unquote, by just being a progressive. I mean, I consider myself to be a progressive. I just wouldn't associate with any of them online ever. They're